Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel once again, and in today's video I'll be sharing one more team in the Open Ultra League, and this is going to be a super powerful meta team that I'm going to be using in the Open Ultra League for Season 11. So for this team I've got a lead of Tapu Fini along with the safe swap of Registeel and a closure of Trevenant over here. So this team, I just want to share the thought process that I had while making this team comp. So this is kind of interesting team, and I came up with this core of Trevenant and Registeel over here. So Trevenant is actually weak to flying and fire, along with a bit of poison and dark as well. And for Registeel, it is actually weak to fighting, and ground, being steel type purely. So for its weaknesses, Registeel can handle the weakness of Trevenant, and Trevenant can handle the weakness of Registeels as well. So it is kind of a complementary team up. So that is the core that I am using over here in this team. And apart from that, I am using a pivot over here which is in the lead, which is really interesting for this team, because yes, the pivot should be as a safe swap, but I'm using this safe swap as in the lead because I want to give this team, along with the core of Trevenant and Registeel, I just want to be this team in a matchup in a style of ABB style, in a ABB style along with fire type weakness in the backline. So that is the reason I'm using Tapu Fini over here, which is a water type and part fairy as well, that can easily handle the fire type as well. So that is the reason I'm using Fini in the lead along with the core in the backline of Trevenant and Registeel. So for this team is super good, having super great coverage on the meta. As you guys can see, the coverage as A, along with great bulk with Fini and Registeel being more like super bulky in this meta, and of course the spamminess and coverage from Trevenant as well, along with the safety and consistency, as you guys can see, as A and B, and the threat score is superbly high, that is 6110. So this is the team that I'm going to use, and with this team I've got a super good matchups or maybe sets. I went up 5-0 in the first set, followed by 3-4-1 and 1-3-2. So I did not have any negative side with this team, so that was really fun and exciting for me. So I hope you guys will be liking this battles that will be coming up for this video as well with this team. So that was the thought process, and that is the team comp that I had for this video. And without more further delay into introduction, let's go straight into the battles and check out how this powerful, bulky and coverage team performed in the Open Ultra League. So let's get started. So now moving into the first battle, I get a terrible lead over here along with my opponent's Trevenant over here. So for Trevenant, as I've already mentioned, I will be safe swapping into my Registeel over here. So Registeel is so much bulky and spammy, like not spammy, it is having access to the nuke moves along with the supercharging fast move of lock on. So to which I will be first going for the Zap Cannon over here, which will be lowering the attack, but this is going to be a really tough matchup for me, because I will be I'm hard countered in the back and hard countered in the safe swap as well. So this is not looking great for me in the first matchup, but since I got shield advantage with my Registeel over here, so that is the sole purpose of my Registeel over here. So that is the reason I'll be now coming back with my Fini over here, and I'll be looking for the hard farm. But this is going to be the Brave Bird, which my opponent's Blaziken have access to which I invest my first shield, and I do get the hard farm, to which now they comes back with their own Trevenant over here, to which they actually shield up the Shadow Ball, the Moondust as well, to which they comes back with their own Swampert into my Trevenant because I swapped out. So this is not a great swap, because Trevenant will be just outpacing Swampert to the to the seed bomb, which will be enough to get the knockout very easily because it takes super active damage, double super active rather. To which now I do have enough energy for my Trevenant to go for the next Shadow Ball, which indeed will be enough to get the knockout for the first battle, and that will be all for the win for my end. So that is going to be a really great game. Moving into the next battle, I pick up yet again a kind of tough lead over here, but it is not that tough because I will be resisting the counters along with the Night Slash, but it do have access to Leaf Blade as well, but I can easily tank one Leaf Blade with my Fini. Fini, as I've already mentioned, is fairly tanky, and so that is the reason I can survive one Leaf Blade, to which I'll be investing my first shield to it because they invested their first shield on the Surf. To which I'll be matching up on shields, and I'll be going for the next Surf, which indeed gives the final shield from my opponent as well, and my opponent does throw over here. So this is going to be a Night Slash or maybe a Leaf Blade, which will be enough to get the knockout, and this is the reason I have my Trevenant over here for the hard farm. I can easily farm down my opponent's Sirfetched over here, and to which they comes back with their own Walrein, which is really a great pick and a top meta Pokemon in this league as well. But since I could farm down the Sirfetched over here, I do have back-to-back Seed Bombs loaded, which will be enough to get the Walrein really low, and that is a thing I do take it out with the next Shadow Claw as well, to which now they comes back with their own Amok over here. So Amok is kind of not a great matchup. It does not have a great matchup with my Trevenant over here, but since I have a super wall to Amok over here in my backline, I'll be letting the Dark Pulse go through, and I'll be coming back with my own Registeel over here. So for Registeel, it do have access to neutral Focus Blast, which will be enough to get the knockout from that kind of health, to which they goes for the Acid Spray this time. So now I will be going for the next Focus Blast this time, which surely will be enough to get the knockout in this scenario for the Amok, and indeed giving me the win for the second battle rather in this set over here. Moving into the next battle, again I pick up a tough lead over here because Cresselia do usually have access to Grass Knot as well, to which I am not very sure if they have access to Grass Knot or not, because they hold on to their energy and they went for the Moonblast on my Registeel. Okay, that does not do anything, that does tickles over here, to which now they comes back with their own Swampert over here. So for Swampert rather, it is not actually a great matchup rather with my Registeel, but Registeel will be doing what it does best. So it takes out the first shield from my opponent's end, and now since they went for back-to-back Hydro Cannons, which will not be enough to get the knockout here as well, and from this kind of range they cannot easily farm me down because I'll be going for the next Focus Blast, which will be enough to get them very low, and to which I make a combo play with my Fini over here, catching going for the next Surf, which will be enough to get this Swampert very low, and I can easily farm it down, which is really nice. And since my opponent's Cresselia did throw the Moonblast onto my Registeel over here, so they are energy dry, but to which they comes back with their own Walrein over here, which is really nice for me because I will be resisting the Icicle Sphere along with the Powder Snow, and now they swaps back into their own Cresselia over here. So for Cresselia, I will be shielding up this potential Moonblast over here, but they could have access to Grass Knot, which it is. And now since they Grass Knot me over here, so I have I am knowing the moves that they are running over here, so they are running Grass Knot along with Moonblast, to which I'll be going for the first bait move over here along with the Seed Bomb, which indeed gives the final shield from my opponent, and my opponent does beat over here once again, to which now I'll be coming forward with my Trevenant along with the Shadow Ball, which will be enough to get the knockout, and my opponent does have a kind of loaded Walrein in the backline, which does have access to Icicle Sphere, which will be enough to put me really low, and I do get knocked out here as well. But never mind, I do have very much loaded Fini onto my backline, which does have access to Moonblast, which will be enough to get the knockout for this Walrein, and indeed getting the win for the third battle here as well. So that is going to be a really great game, and GG's to my opponent. Moving into the fourth battle over here, I pick up a lead with my Fini along with the Kyogre over here. So for Kyogre, it have access to Blizzard, Thunder and Surf. So it was a bit fast to be a Thunder, so I let the charge move go through over here, to which I build up a ton of extra energy. With my Fini over here, I'll be going for the bait move of Surf. So Surf does resist damage, but since my opponent does shield this time and they swaps out into their own Kanto Muck over here, which is really spicy, to which I come out with my Registeel, and my opponent does just knows the fact and top lefts the game over here. So that is the core potential of Registeel over here in this league as well. It is really bulky and with a good coverage move of Focus Blast and Zap Cannon, which does outpowers over here, to which I'll be moving into the next battle over here, which in which I pick up a neutral lead over here along with the Escavalier. But of course both of the charge moves are neutral over here, along with the counters which are registered by my Tapu Fini, to which now I try to catch Icicle Sphere onto my Registeel over here, which I do not catch over here. So that is the reason I will be shielding up the first potential Earthquake, which it was, and now I will be going for the Zap Cannon over here. So I shielded up the first Earthquake because it will be dealing the most damage, because now I do have debuff my opponent's attack with the Zap Cannon over here. So after matching up on shields, they will be going for the Icicle Sphere shield bait this time once again, and now I think this is going to be one more Earthquake, which is not enough apart from the debuff as well, which will not have been enough, and now this swaps out into their own Escavalier once again. So I build up to a potential maybe a Zap Cannon and Focus Blast as well. So and I swap out into my own Fini over here. So for Fini, it can easily handle one Earthquake, one Drill Run as well, and I do barely get knocked out over here. So from this kind of range, I don't want to come back with my Registeel over here, but because I cannot farm it down, so that is the reason I come back with my own Trevenant over here, and I farm down the Escavalier over here, to which they comes back with their own Walrein over here, which is kind of loaded, and they'll be going for the back-to-back Icicle Spheres. But since I am kind of having shield advantage, I will be catching the next move onto my own Registeel over here, and to which they comes back with their own Poliwrath over here. So Poliwrath is kind of a really interesting pick in this meta, but since I have access to Zap Cannon, which does indeed lowers the opponent's attack as well, that is the reason I could reach to one more Focus Blast, which will be enough to get the knockout for this Poliwrath as well. And they do have really low Walrein over here, to which they top lifts the game here as well. So for the first set, I do pick up a 5-0 victory. That is the reason I featured this team along with this set. So moving into the next battle, this is kind of a really tough lead over here, because it is kind of bait dependent as well, because Icicle Spheres are resisted because of my partial water typing, but Earthquake over here does do neutral damage, like hits hard rather, to which now I'll be going for the Moonblast of my own. But this is going to be a bait dependent game, which I have already mentioned, and this is not the way, or this is not the strategy that I'll be using much further forward in the battle. So this is the kind of learning lesson for me, because in such scenarios I will be immediately safe swapping into my Registeel over here, because Walrein along with my Fini is not a great lead. Though I get the switch advantage over here because I do farm it down, but now I have a tough matchup, because they comes back with their own Escavalier, and this is going to be the first Mega Horn which I have to shield up. So first Mega Horn goes through, I do shield up over here, which got shielded, and now I'll be going for the bait move of Seed Bomb. So but my opponent does catch it onto the next onto their final Pokemon, which is going to be a Typhlosion. So Typhlosion being fire type, which is actually a core breaking type for my Trevenant along with my Registeel over here. So that is the reason I don't want to stay in that matchup of maybe a kind of a very close matchup with Fini, which in this case was Walrein. So that is the reason I don't want to stay in that matchup, and this is why I'll not be staying much further in this battle over here. To which I'll be throwing the next Seed Bomb, which is not enough to get the knockout here as well for my opposing Typhlosion over here as well. To which they store one Blast Burn in this case. To which now they comes back with their Escavalier over here, which will be going to have access to counters and Drill Run, which does indeed take 50% of my health. But now from this kind of range, I'll not be able to reach to the next Focus Blast or Zap Cannon, and this is going to be the next Blast Burn, which will be enough to get the knockout for my Registeel, and I do end up the game losing it. So moving into the next matchup, which is going to be a kind of a good matchup along with altered Giratina over here with my Fini, because I have access to this Moonblast over here, which does neutral damage. To which super equip rather, to which they swaps out into their own Registeel over here, which is going to be a really great zap. To which now I'll be taking the first Zap Cannon onto my face of Trevenant, and I'll be coming back with it with these Shadow Balls. So Shadow Ball will add up over here along with the Shadow Claws, but since all the moves from Registeel onto this onto my Trevenant is does neutral damage, so that is the reason I'll be going for the back-to-back Shadow Balls this time. So Shadow Ball will be enough to get this knockout from this kind of range for the Registeel as well, and now they comes back with a Talon Flame. So this is a kind of good lead, good reason that I have access to a very healthy Fini over here. So for Fini, it does have access to Water Gun along with Surf, which does take neutral. To which now they comes back with their own Giratina after shielding up. After I shield up the first Brave Bird from the Talon Flame over here. To which now they will be going for the back-to-back Shadow Sneaks over here, but I'll be going for the neutral move of Zap Cannon, which indeed does not do enough over here, but they get the defense drop, attack drop over here. So beg your pardon, so I do end up doing so many mistakes in this battle, so it's hard for me to commentate this kind of fast situations when there are Pokemon that are such spamminess. So I'll be going for the back-to-back Zap Cannons over here, and now my opposing Giratina alters attack are eventually doing less damage. As you guys can see, it does not even do a tickle to my Registeel over here, and my Registeel is not actually fully powered up because it gets maxed out at level 47, but it is now level 44 I believe. To which now, since they comes back with their own Fini over here, I'll be going for the next Surf, which will be getting the first shield from my opponent, which is really nice for me. To which now I do let the first charge move go through because I don't want them to throw a Brave Bird right away, which is a correct call. And now I will be going for the next Surf, which I'll be going for the shield over here, because from this kind of range I can easily go for the hard form, but rather I'll be throwing this time because from this kind of health range I can easily come back. I do have access to a Moonblast as well, which anyway I'll be going to reach over here with my Fini, but my opponent just recognizes their fate and top lives the game over here. So that was a really close and great matchup with this with my opponent, so that is going to be a really great game. So GG's to my opponent. Moving into the next matchup, so again I pick up a lead over here with a shiny altered Giratina, and they tried to catch a Water Gun, beg your pardon, a Surf or a Moonblast onto their Cresselia over here. To which now, since they are running actually Future Sight and not Moonblast with their own Cress over here, I'll be going to throw the first Seed Bomb over here, which my opponent does call great over here. So now I'll not be going for the bait this time. I'll be going for the Shadow Ball, which does indeed get my opponent really out of the form over here maybe. So that is the reason they let it go, and I get to one more Seed Bomb, which does a great amount of chip damage to this Giratina also. To now which I'll be coming back with my full HP, almost full HP Fini over here, and I'll be taking that Shadow Sneak over here, to which now I potentially should have built up to a Moonblast rather, but I ended up throwing it a Surf, and to which now this wraps out after shielding the Surf into their own Registeel, and they recognizes their fate because they are actually getting hard countered over here, which is not a great thing. So I hard countered my opponent totally in that matchup, so that is the reason my opponent does like top left the game over here, because they did not have anywhere to go. So now moving into the next matchup, I forgot what my lead was over here, and they swapped out into their own Shadow Snorlax over here, to which I can easily handle this this body slam over here, but since they went for the back-to-back body slam this time, I'll be shielding up the body slam this time, and I'll be safe swapping. I'll be not safe swapping, I'll be countering it with my own Trevenant, because they cannot reach to the next any move which will be enough to get my Trevenant really low, because only the lick will be super effective in this case, apart from the body slams and the superpower. To which now they comes back with their Empoleon, which is really nice, because Empoleon does not have a really great matchup with Trevenant here also, because I'll be outplacing it to the next Seed Bomb, but they do have access to Drill Peck, which does indeed super effective to my Trevenant. But since I could spam out this Seed Bomb, which indeed gets my opposing Empoleon really low, to which now I come back with my Registeel over here. So for Registeel, it does have a really great matchup with the Empoleon, because any one of the moves does one shot in from this kind of range. So on the hindsight, I should have went for the Focus Blast, because it takes one less energy, like one less energy with the Zap apart from the Zap Cannon, to which now they comes back with their own lead over here, which was the Gallade in this time. So now since they comes back with their Gallade, I'll be going for the back-to-back Zap Cannons, and my win condition over here is my Fini over here, because it have got access to the Moonblast, which does one-shot the Gallade from this kind of range, because it is part fighting as well, to which I'll be going for the Moonblast, which ensures the knockout for the Gallade, and I indeed win the game for this battle here as well. So moving into, I believe, the final battle of the set and the video, which is going to be again a lead with Cresselia, to which now I'll be safe swapping and try to catch one move this time with my Registeel once again, but now they comes back with their own Shadow Grand Bull over here along with Snarl. So this is not a great scenario, because it do have access to Crunch and Close Combat, which indeed hurts really a lot, because it is coming from a Shadow variant as well. But now I'll be going for the back-to-back Zap Cannons this time, which will be eventually lowering my opponent's attack as well, to which now I believe they have enough energy for a back-to-back close combat, but I have to shield up this time, because though they are kind of double debuffed, but since close combat is such a hard-hitting move along with the shadow damage, I think I will be getting outpaced and getting the knockout, to which now I'll be going for the next Zap Cannon, which will be enough to get the knockout for this Shadow Grand Bull over here. And this is going to be tough, because all the shields are down, and let's see what they comes back with. Yeah, they comes back with their own Cresselia once again, but this is not a great scenario, because Cresselia does have access to Grass Knot along with Moonblast and Future Sight, which does hurt my Fini and my Trevenant as well, to which now they comes back and goes for the back-to-back Grass Knot, which is not going to be enough to get the knockout for my Registeel as well, to which now I'll be coming back with my own Trevenant over here. So since I landed the first Focus Blast into the mirror matchup, I'll be coming back with my own Trevenant over here, which will be taking any one move which is coming in through. So this is going to be, I believe, the Zap Cannon, or they are running actually Flash Cannon, which does almost 50% of my health, and now they'll be going for the next Grass Knot over here. So Grass Knot maybe a Moonblast this time. So Moonblast, I cannot handle a Moonblast from this kind of range, and to which I'll be coming back with my own Cress, with my own Fini onto the Cress. So for it, I think they will be going for the back-to-back Grass Knot this time, to which I will be going for the back-to-back Surf. So Surf will be neutral in this scenario. So I believe 2 Surfs will not be enough to get the knockout. So that is the reason I tried to catch one move onto my Registeel, but since they are having access to Psycho Cut, which is resisted because of such a bulky Pokemon which Registeel is, that is the reason I could reach to one Focus Blast, which was enough to get the knockout and enough to get the win for the final battle here as well for this video. So now I'll be pausing a video for a few moments and I'll be sharing the analysis for this team along with the results and my my thoughts on this. So as I've already mentioned, this team worked out really well for me, along with the coverage on the meta, with the bulk and safety ratings as well. So this team is kind of busted because Tapu Fini along with the core of Registeel and Trevenant is really hard to handle. So either you have to use this team or you have to hard counter it to totally getting over it. So that is the thing. So over here, so that was my analysis for this team. So if you are using this team, do let me know how it is working out for you. If you're liking the content onto this channel, do like, share, subscribe to it and comment as well. So that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one with new teams and more fun battles. Till then, peace.